Hello, governor.
Hello, lovely. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm lovely. I'm feeling a little parched at the moment.
Do you need more water?
And now I have water in my cup, but I just drank it and I'm like, didn't do it.
The tickle.
I have the tickle, yeah.
The tickle of the throat. The throat tickle. There was a girl.
The throat tickler sounds like a real fucked up.
Like a weird
sex thing.
Name.
They called me the throat tickler.
The throat tickler. Even if Jeff came up to me and was like, haha, I'm the throat tickler, I'd be like, ew.
That's definitely something my husband would say, and I would immediately give him shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of our husbands.
Maybe Stevie thinks, oh, are you guys talking about me? What are you saying?
She's looking.
Look at her little teeth.
I know.
Stevie, are we talking to you?
Stevie, for those of you that might be new, is Rachel's lovely, blind English bulldog. She's incredible.
Yeah, she is, for anyone who's had any experience with bulldogs, English bulldogs specifically, they are characters. They have the funniest noises. They have the biggest personalities. And so Stevie she's a real hoot. She's a real hoot nanny. Huh, yeah. Steve's. Oh. Well, now she's not doing anything because Krystyn's scratching her ears.
Yeah. She's getting some love.
Stevie.
So back to our husbands.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So, welcome. Yeah. Welcome to the She Shed, Krystyn.
Thanks for having me, Rach.
Welcome to the episode. This is our first Zodiac episode of season 2.
Right, because our first one, we really more talked about astrology than Aquarius. Yeah.
Yes. So we have talked about the Zodiac already in season 2 because we had on the fabulous Jenny D, which if you haven't catched those episodes, go check them out. It's a 2-part series all about forecasting into 2025. So you have not missed anything. We're still in the throes of it.
We're still in the very early throes of it.
Yeah. I still feel like it's fucking January.
We're on the 100th day of January.
This is a song that doesn't
Don't you dare.
end. It just goes on and on, my friends. So we're going to switch that up and just say, this is the month that doesn't end. Okay. Welcome
to Two Mystic Mamas,
where we're talking about Pisces season, the season of the Pisces.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm just channeling my inner Pauly Shore.
Let's not bring him back into another fucking episode. All right, what do you think about when you think about Pisces season?
I think about my husband mostly. I just think about Jeff.
Both of our husbands
are full Pisces.
Are Pisces sun gentlemen.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The Pisces season runs roughly, depending if you're a cusp, February 21st through March 21st. So Jeff is full on. He's a March 12th, so he's right in the middle.
Same. So. Charlie was born on the Ides of March. So.
Yes. The Ides of March. Isn't that Julius Caesar?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Reference some old shit, I'm fucking there. Anything newer than 1980. And
Let's go.
I'm done for, guys.
So yeah, Pisces is also sometimes referred to as the dustpan of the zodiac because it's the...
What?
Yeah, it's the last. It's number 12.
I know that, but the dustpan?
That's what I read. The dustpan of the zodiac. Because they're like cleaning up from all the other signs.
All right, I want to hear more about this because I have my own, experience, knowledge. I don't know what you want to call it.
It was interesting.
Research from... No, I mean, I started researching zodiac when I was pretty young. And I learned this like very early on. So I want to see what you have to say.
Well, I don't have much to say early on because I would only ever focus on my zodiac, right? So it's the only one. I love that we do research for these episodes because it's very helpful. I mean, I'm sure you've met somebody that is like, oh, are you a blah, blah, blah? I can totally tell. And it's like, how? But there's very key characteristics that are associated with each of the zodiac signs.
I do identify as a blah, blah, blah.
You're a blah, blah, blah?
I'm a blah, blah, blah. So, okay, I remember reading this when I was in high school, that Pisces, as the 12th sign, there are some spiritualists, I think, esoteric astrologists that believe in a 12 life theory of reincarnation.
Oh, interesting.
And Pisces is like Bowser's castle.
Okay.
It's considered the last life right before ascension, or like the last reincarnation.
Okay.
So basically, they have a different moniker for each of the zodiac signs that they believe. And the Pisces is the mystic.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Yes, very spiritual.
Well, the big thing is that it's the final stage where you are meant to surrender for ascension. So I think a lot of Pisces tend to carry more, I don't want to use the word baggage, but they tend to carry a lot more emotional weight than the other zodiac signs, because they are meant to surrender that in order to kind of ascend to that next life.
Interesting. Also makes me a little sad, because what if Jeff and I don't connect in another life? And then
I don't know that I necessarily believe it. I think that there's probably parts of it that I can get on board with. But, I don't know if you remember, Naisha and I kind of just grazing the surface of quantum physics in that episode. But the idea that everything is happening at the same time and time is not linear.
Correct. Right.
So it depends on where your belief system is on this, honestly.
Yeah. Well, if you're tuning in for this episode and you're new to the zodiac, let's just go over some basics for what the Pisces are.
The Pisces is the fish, and they are usually representative.
Fishies. The fishies.
Right. But they're usually represented by water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is a water sign. It is a feminine sign. Some of the zodiac signs are masculine. Pisces is a feminine water sign. It is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It is also located in the winter region. If you are listening to us up here in the northern hemisphere. It is also associated with the mantra that starts with, I believe. So if you are a Pisces, a Piscean is what they call you. A Piscean. A Piscean? Piscean. Piscean.
Just keep saying it, right?
Piscean.
Piscean.
Piscean. I'm just going to call Jeff a Piscean now.
Or Poseidon. Just name him after a god.
The god of water, the oceans. And so I believe. Start your mantra with I believe. I believe. Don't end it with I can fly. That's all I can think of. I believe I can fly.
I knew we were going to get a musical performance, you guys.
So speaking of music.
Here we go.
Pisceans.
Poseidons.
love, have a deep, deep love for music.
They do. They really do. And your husband is a big music guy. He's into a lot of music. My husband is also into a lot of music. And a music maker.
Well, he's a musician.
He is.
Yeah.
So each sign of the zodiac also has ruling planets that it's associated with, right? So for Pisces, it is Jupiter and Neptune,
Correct.
I believe.
Yeah, Neptune is the main headliner.
The main
headliner.
Jupiter's just over there on the side stage, you guys.
Yeah, Isn't it crazy, the planetary alignment that is happening?
Yep.
I wish I had a telescope, because I've been able to see Venus very clearly, because she's just so bright and beautiful. But the other ones I cannot. You can't see from the naked eye.
We should get my telescope out.
You have a telescope?
I do have a telescope.
Why
we
do
should
we not
bust
know this?
that. Yeah, we should bust that baby out.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I feel like it's only going to be for like the next 3 weeks, give or take.
Looks like we're planning an outing.
Yeah. these planetary alignments have really been throwing some things off their course, if you will. No pun intended. But okay, so the symbol for the Pisces zodiac is two fish. They are actually tied together. And it's symbolic of one of the fish swimming upstream and one of the fish swimming downstream. The downstream fish is the personality and the upstream fish is the soul.
That's interesting too, if you think about the cycle of life and how this kind of ties back into other thoughts of belief. Because Pisces, as being the 12th house, is attached to karmic connection. So I find that super interesting that that's how they represent that with the two fish swimming in opposite directions.
They also are symbolic in whether or not the personality dominates and basically eats the soul and you're basically made to suffer, or if the soul eats the personality and you're meant to serve. So they always associate it with serve or suffer. It's one of the more emotional signs of the whole zodiac, like super sensitive,
right,
full of emotion. So it's an interesting cycle to think about. When I read that, I in turn kind of associated that with where you stand with your ego, right? And whether or not you're super grounded or you have a balance within your spiritual realm of interpreting these different aspects of the zodiac into your life. Because there's plenty of people out there that don't believe in the zodiac, don't do anything with horoscopes, don't do anything with planetary alignments, don't do anything with, your birth chart or any of that. This is like not part of their makeup. And so it's fascinating when you see people that don't, but you can analyze the shit out of them because you're like, oh yeah, you're, XYZ, and you give off all these traits, And then you have people that are hyper aware of how this is all interconnected to us and how it can aid you and help you with different areas of your life that you might be struggling with.
Well, and all of these energies and character traits that we're talking about show up in very different ways for different people.
Yes.
And, this is obviously when we're going through the Zodiac series, we're talking about sun signs, but also, these same traits are going to have a different expression in somebody that is a Pisces rising or a Pisces moon.
Sure. Yeah. You have your sun, moon, rising, which are the main three that most people focus on. I know those are the main three that I focus on. Naturally, you can get into where any of the zodiac signs are placed in your houses if you have your birth chart read, and where the planetary alignments are too. The deeper you get into it, the more influence and information you will get. It
is never ending, you guys.
It is never ending.
I went last week.
Yes. Yeah, last Friday.
To the Pittsburgh Astrology Group meetup at the Crow's Nest in Dormont. And it was so fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been charting the transits through my own chart since then. And I'm going to report back because I want to see some common themes before I kind of dig in, because this is...
And so a transit is when the planets move from one sign to another sign.
Right, when they're moving through the different houses.
Yes.
Right. And the same with the moon, too, right?
Yes.
Where the moon's transiting.
Well, naturally, because the moon is
right.
one of the planets. Right? Why are you looking at me like that?
The moon is not a planet.
The moon is a planet.
The moon is not a planet.
Yeah, it is. What is it then?
It's the moon.
But, because the sun's a star, right? The moon can't just be the moon. Isn't it one of the planets?
No, they're like satellites of planets.
What? Satellites?
Every planet has moons.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me the moon is not a planet?
Yeah, that's what. Do you not remember learning the planets when you were in school?
I mean, clearly no, because I just said the moon's a planet. Is the moon not a planet?
Oh, God, she doesn't believe me again.
No, the moon is not a planet, but a satellite of the planet
Jesus
Earth.
Fucking hell? You guys, she
I've
never believes me.
Okay, I've never heard this. That the
How have you
moon
never heard
is a
this?
satellite of the planet Earth. I always associate satellite with shit we put in space.
You guys, you're going to be about to watch me quit this podcast live.
And it's a natural satellite.
Oh.
As compared to a man-made satellite. I didn't know you could use the word satellite in more than one way. Well, you know what they say. Try to learn something new every day.
I've learned some things.
So I have learned something new today. So back to these Pisceans that are super sensitive and their emotions are strong, but yet they keep everything hidden. And it's very hard to understand them. Speaking to you, Jeff, speaking to you. When I first started dating Jeffrey, one of the challenges, if you will, that we had was when we would get into arguments and fights. I had this need to fix everything immediately. Like, we could not move on from the fight or the argument until we were both happy and everything was resolved. And that is not how he operates. He needs time to cool off and to reflect and then can come back to the situation.
Can we come back to this moon as a planet thing?
I just want to move on.
Kidding. All right, fine. I just am looking over here at your tissue box that shows the Earth and a galaxy and a comet.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't know fucking the moon was part of space. I just thought it was a planet.
You guys,
and I know
here first. Elon Musk put that satellite moon up into.
That's right. I know that there are people listening that are on my side right now. It might be a minority of people, but there's a percentage out there that are listening that are like, this is so much information and I'm glad that she's getting embarrassed and not me.
I feel like this is half and half.
Yeah, so you agree with me that there's people out there that they're learning something for the first time too.
I feel like half of the people listening are like, yay, Rachel. And the other half of people are like, God damn it, Rachel.
You dumb.
No.
Listen, I did take an astronomy class, Stars, Galaxies, and Cosmos at Pitt.
I would like to have a word with your professor.
I don't know if I passed it, but I was there.
Oh my God.
It was one of those giant classes too. It had like fucking 300 people in it. But yeah, it's going back to like some of the Piscean attributes, if you will. That was a big one for me that I had to learn, that like he just, and I don't know if Charles is the same way, but he doesn't feel this need to have a resolution to a heightened situation immediately. He's very comfortable taking time for reflection.
Oh, Charlie's kind of the opposite. Although he does take time for reflection very easily, but I wouldn't say that he needs a resolution right away, but he doesn't like to see the people in his life unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to make them happy right away. I mean, a big thing with...
Well, yeah, Jeff
Pisces,
is like that too, but what about in conflict?
No, he's quicker to resolution,
Okay.
I would say. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I need more time to like just get my head together if we're in a space of conflict.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just it, right? Like everybody's planetary alignment is different. Their natal chart is different.
Yeah.
And just because two people are born 3 days apart doesn't mean that they're going to be exactly the same. However, I do know people that were born on the same day that have some very similar characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of talked about this a little bit with Jenny on the astrology podcast, was time twins.
Mm-hmm.
And so I brought this up to Charlie. I said something and he goes, oh, I have a time twin. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, there was a guy that I went to high school with that was born in the hospital at the same time that I was born. And then like they were friends, and
Oh, wild.
he is now passed away, which is terrifying.
How?
I think he had an accident.
Ugh.
Right. And we had just talked to Jenny about if you have two people that are born in the same location at the same time, like how similar are they? And now I'm like, gosh, I wish I could have met this guy.
Isla, oh my God, I know Isla's time twin.
Really?
Yeah. She's in her class. She has the same birthday as, I'm not going to say her name because she's the little kid, but now that we're talking about this, her and her mom, well, I was like, oh, they have the same birthday. That's so cool. Where did you deliver? And she said McGee. And I delivered her at St. Clair, but like same. I mean, you're within miles of each other. Same day though.
Right. That's crazy.
I know.
It's amazing how it all works. I mean, everybody is going to exhibit traits of these zodiac signs a little bit different. And so I think with the heightened emotions of people that are a Pisces sun, managing stress and burnout is super duper duper important.
Yep. And they tend to always feel like they're not doing enough. So they also lend themselves to overwork and overextend themselves. And self-care in the form of rest and relaxation does not just come naturally to them. They have to really work at that.
Well, I think the Pisces are more apt to escapism.
Yes. Like on vacation, no big deal. They will 100% be able to to let go.
But like, they're going to find a way to check out.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that is true just with my experience with my Pisces is the need to escape, even if it's just for a weekend, is very strong. He loves to plan a last minute getaway. Loves it.
Yeah. Well, and there's ways that you can create space. Like if you want to harness this energy and work with it, you can create a dreamy place in your house to escape as well, right? Some place that you go and know that you can just get away. You can read a book. You can maybe watch something, whatever. But again, I would say try to avoid completely escaping and doom scrolling because that's a big one. A lot of Pisces get like really into video games and stuff like that. When I was doing research, that was one of the big things that came up, which I found interesting. Now,
I could see that.
Charlie's not a video gamer now. He was previously, but his schedule is so full now that I don't think he's touched his Xbox in many years.
Yeah, I would say that I could also see that. Even when we had Jeff on the podcast in the fall, and you were asking him what he does for self-care.
Oh, that's right.
And he was like, nothing. Play on my phone. He is a big game guy on his phone. Hours and hours.
It's so interesting.
It is, because I am not. I actually like to play certain computer games while I'm doing something else. It actually, like if someone's talking, like if I'm listening to a podcast or something, I can play a video game, like one of those like Candy Crush games while actively listening. It actually helps me to actively listen while doing something with my eyes.
It's like a fidget spinner for your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for putting the words that I could not find.
I'm pretty bad with stuff like that. I have a couple of games that I've downloaded, like Lumosity, or it's like to help with like cognitive brain function as you age.
Yes.
And then my family had me download the New York Times because we all love Wordle, but also they have like a whole suite of games in there that you can play.
Oh, interesting. Does the New York Times own Wordle?
Yeah, they bought it like right after it got big.
Oh.
And I'm terrible at going back, and I have no streaks because it's just not in my like daily routine to go on and play the games.
Yes.
I have to be reminded about it.
Yep.
I mean, the other thing with people that are Pisces, and Pisces men and Pisces women, I feel like are very different too.
Well, naturally, I feel like you should bring your mic down and put it like right next to Stevie's snore. She's not breathing. She has.
Guys.
That is so good.
Oh, now you guys get to hear it.
Oh, bless.
In all its glory.
Oh my God. So good.
I do know quite a lot of Pisces women. I have to say, it is interesting because there's a lot of similarities within the Pisces women that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the Pisces men are very different. I think one of the things that is amongst all of them is like this need for emotional connection, even if they don't say it. Like you can, do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. I think they also thrive on people that are more open and vulnerable and real.
Well, they're very like creative, dreamy, inspirational kind of people, generally speaking. Pisces season is a really good time to kind of get more into astrology too, into like the dreaminess, the spirituality, the emotional part of life, the endings, the new beginnings, the dreams. Honestly, if you want a couple of tools to work with this energy around this time, one is get a dream journal next to your bed and set some intentions to actually try and wake up and remember your dreams and then write them down immediately. And the other is working with water, right? You can cleanse away energies and work with water to boost your intuition because right now is a heightened sense of psychic abilities, tapping into that intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams are going to be more vivid than they normally are. There's like this connection that Pisces has with spirit guides and ancestors.
They're very, very intuitively attuned.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all about those karmic cycles and spiritual growth.
Yep.
So I would implore you all to like get into it this month.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
You can, when you take a shower, turn it into a ritual, light a candle, set some intentions. Again, start some intentions with I believe. That is going to cater itself really, really well to this time of year. The other interesting thing to keep in mind is even if you aren't a Pisces, we're in the Pisces season. So all of this information about what type of rituals you can do or activities, they can apply to you too, because it's the energy of where we are right now.
Right. And this is like a free flowing, Pisces is a mutable sign, right? So this ability to be flexible is there. The other big thing attached with Pisces can be forgiveness. And that can be for yourself or for others. So now is like a really, really good time to practice some forgiveness rituals. This doesn't need to be about other people, right?
No.
Like when you forgive someone, you are freeing up space in your own mind. Because people can get trapped in this story and in this cycle of past hurts or even perceived past hurts.
Cord cutting.
That
taking your power back.
You get stuck in.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So the Pisces energy is a really good one to work with for clearing all that shit out. Get the cobwebs out. Allow new energy to come in because also this is the astrological new year.
That's right. That's right.
We have new energy ushering in.
Correct.
Aries will be coming in afterwards. Like, it's fucking go time. Let that shit go.
And forgiveness is so, so powerful. And especially when you practice real forgiveness and when you practice self-forgiveness, because, we talk a lot about this, but, how can you fill other people's cups when you're not filling your own cup? And we hold on to stuff, whether we consciously want to or subconsciously want to. And so having an intentional exercise that you go through and you forgive and love on yourself, and I believe mantras again. Yeah, it is an incredible gift that you will bestow upon yourself moving forward, getting ready for, to what Krystyn said, all of the new wonderful opportunities that you have right fucking there.
Flow and surrender, guys.
Flow and surrender. There you go.
That's it.
Flow and surrender.
She's going to write you a jingle.
Flow and surrender. This is the Flow and Surrender song. Sherry Lewis. All right.
You guys, it's been so real. Thank you for joining us for
just keep
our
swimming, just
Pisces
keep swimming,
episode.
swim. All I do is swim. You know what movie?
The musical Nemo. The musical,
Yes! Finding Nemo. I speak whale. Okay.
the musical stylings of Rachel DeFore, everyone.
So musically inclined.
You're like
Tone deaf.
Duke. What's his name? Fuck, what's his alter ego on Parks and Rec? When Ron Swanson goes and plays the saxophone.
I don't know.
Oh, now who's letting who down with
I know.
television references?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go be
Duke,
a fish.
What the fuck is it?
Go flow. Go
Come
swim.
back.
Go swim. But if you're in Pittsburgh, don't go swim. It's still very cold outside.
Not yet.
No swimming in the rivers.
Set some boundaries. Have some fun. Flow into your own life. Swim, swim.
Yes.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.